because we always skip ahead half the recap.
All right. Now, what's the way to do this without you hearing me watching it?
Mute your microphone.
Okay.
Which is in the lower right-hand corner. I'm waiting just a beat here to let more folks enter the room. I always kind of wait a little bit just to make sure everybody's there. And since we had a room previously, I just want to make sure that everyone who was in that other room is, coming into this one. But you just go ahead and watch that episode. How was your poker game last night?
Good. It went to about 3 a.m. We play on Zoom.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
With friends, or is it like some sort of a poker club?
No, it's friends. It's a friendly dealer's choice game, but we got friends on the East Coast who are almost up till daybreak playing. Yep. Nice. You're certainly invited anytime you want. We play on Fridays.
Oh, I'm not a gambler.
$20.
I used to play poker back when like the big poker thing was like a big, when everyone was, I feel like there was that like mid to late aughts period where everyone was playing poker, and at least in Los Angeles, everyone was playing Texas Hold'em. Yeah.
And Keiko and her husband Shen would host us, and we'd have poker parties in her place a couple times.
And Sean used to have like I want to say he used to have a weekly one, and Shin, Keiko, and I used to do those. Yeah. You have to really play a lot to be really good at that game.
Yeah, it's a lot of math. But we play dealer's choice, so there's all kinds of variants.
Right. Yeah. All right. I think that we're good here. I am going to open up the couch, and we're going to bring another 13 folks up onto the couch with us, so that it's a nice even 15. Before we start, I just want to remind everyone of, not necessarily rules, but just sort of guidelines or guideposts in regards to when we have special guests. I know that the urge will be to want to ask the guests, especially cast members of the show, sort of larger questions about their time on the show and all of that kind of stuff. We try our best to sort of avoid those urges and instead focus on the episode we're watching and engaging our guests, the way that we engage one another in our post-show discussions, and certainly during the episode itself. Todd, first of all, have you watched the show? Have you watched the full show?
Like every episode in its entirety?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't in every episode.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's sort of the big, that's the concept of this, right? Is that I've also never watched the whole series. I haven't even watched many of the episodes that I was in because I just stopped watching them. I want to say I stopped watching them after the first one.
Wow, we are really the perfect people to host this.
Yeah, well, but you know what? I had Keiko on. Sean was on already. Valerie has been on, and the general consensus is haven't watched the whole series. And that's the thing I think that a lot of fans of their favorite shows don't realize, which is the actors of their shows don't usually watch the show for different reasons. For actors like us who were sort of the side cast, right? We leave Gilmore Girls and we're thinking about what's our next job, right? Like we're kind of hustling to try and get that next job. And of course, it's not like we're, dying to watch the thing that we just worked on. But like for somebody like Sean or for Lauren or Alexis, I mean, they read all the scripts, so watching the episode would be, sort of a little redundant. So anyway, I haven't watched it either. I don't even remember this episode, but I know it's a big one. So I would just encourage everyone that we really try to focus on this. Todd's going to be, relatively fresh to this as I am. And, I'm sure you'll have plenty of your own opinions about the things that happen in the episode, or questions and whatnot, and we can sort of go from there. And of course, if you have any questions, for Todd that relate to the episode and like can spur a larger discussion with him about his time on Gilmore Girls, like that's totally cool. You don't have to feel completely shackled in that regard. But my hope is, dude, that you enjoy what we're doing here and that you'll come back again. Which
I'm already having a great time. My only concern is just the technical aspect. So
you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Trust me. When I got to this whole thing, it's gonna make complete sense. And I do a big preamble beforehand, but I should jump in right now. I'm sure everyone's wondering why I haven't opened the couch. All right, opening the couch now. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Hi,
5,
Todd. Welcome.
howdy.
6, 7, 8,
Hi,
9,
Todd.
Howdy.
10,
Hi, everyone.
11,
Hi, Todd.
12, and 13. All right, 13 of us are on the couch.
Good morning.
Good
And
morning.
we're
Morning.
closing
Welcome, Todd, to Remarcus.
I can say hello, Todd, because I know you know German.
Ein bisschen. Ich kann ein bisschen durchsprechen.
Hey, everybody. To everyone who is joining us for the first time, welcome. This is Remarcus. We're a community of folks who like to watch our favorite television shows together virtually, but as if we are in the same room, gathered around the same television, passing coffee mugs, or no, not coffee mugs, coffee flasks amongst one another. The first show that we're watching together is Gilmore Girls, a show that I was on. Todd was also on, but I never actually watched it. And as you just heard, he didn't watch all of it either. Those who arrive early can grab a seat on what we call the couch. That's this area up top here with 15 of us with little microphones next to our avatars. That means that we can chat during the episode as if we were, creating a sort of, social DVD style commentary track. There are no real rules to how much or how little we chat during the episode. We can chat whenever we feel the urge, same as if we were just casually watching together in person. Sometimes it's just dead silent for minutes at a time because we're all just really focused on what's happening. And sometimes the chatter gets really heavy. If it gets too heavy for you and you're trying to focus on the episode, just turn the volume down on the phone a little bit until you can hear that the chatter has gone away. I will say, though, that we do hit our sweet spot when we keep our remarks focused on what's actually happening in the episode. We try our best to squeeze those remarks into the air between dialogue so that we can still follow what's going on in the show. And when we do have longer thoughts that we want to have or we want to, get into a discussion or conversation, we save that until after the episode because we're going to stick around for another 45 minutes afterwards to chat about what we just saw. We always avoid talking about future episodes so that we don't spoil for anybody who hasn't seen it, like myself. We keep the volume on our TVs low, very low, so that when we do speak, we can't hear the episode in the background. I like to use headphones on my television so you can't hear my episode at all. But if you don't have headphones, the next best thing is to just try and keep the volume down as low as it can while you still can hear it. And when we are not speaking, please mute your microphone to reduce any kind of background noise, rustling, or dogs barking, etc. All of these sessions are being recorded and archived. They will eventually be on the Remarcus app. If you don't feel comfortable being recorded or having your recorded remarks available to the public, then just don't come up onto the couch or don't speak. We sometimes do have technical hiccups. So if you lose, for example, your internet or you get knocked out of the room, just come back in. You'll still be on the couch as you were before. If the episode cuts off and you need to figure out where we are in the episode, there's a very easy way to do that. First, you want to get the Remarcus app, which is at remarcus.com. You want to sign up for an account. You're going to need an account for this. And then go into the event calendar and into the page for this particular event where you will see a little time code. That's where we are in the episode. If you don't have the app or you don't want to get an account, you can also find the time code on my Instagram account where I have an Instagram live feed playing with that time code. You can find my Instagram account by just simply tapping my avatar here in this room, opening up my profile, which you'll see my Instagram link in. It'll take you right there without you actually leaving the room. You know, you'll still be able to hear everything just fine. You can also, if you're on the couch with me, you could also just say timestamp, and I'll just tell you where we are in the episode. We always skip ahead past the previously on, which it sounds like there is a previously on. Even
Yep.
There is.
Add 20 seconds to the timer.
Okay, great. So we're going to want to add 20 seconds to the timer, which I am going to do right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm doing it both simultaneously on both the app and on Instagram.
John, I'm really impressed about how well you have this down.
Do you know how many episodes we've watched so far?
Well, I guess
we're you know that, by the way, this is momentous. This episode's momentous. This episode is exactly dead center halfway through our watch, I think, right? If they all have 22 episodes per season, with the exception of 21, I think, in the first season, then we are gonna pass the mid-series threshold tonight, which is pretty epic, pretty exciting.
Yes. It's going by fast.
It's going by fast, but it's been a lot of fun. Okay, I have my episode at 22 seconds in, which I know is like a couple seconds ahead, but that's fine. Okay, so those of you who have done this before know what we're doing next. For those who are joining us for the first time, like Todd, just get your remote ready. We are going to all press the play button at the same time on the count of 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Can hear somebody's audio. Yeah. That's you, Todd. Make sure to keep your mic muted when you're not speaking.
Todd, we're using the subtitles to read what's happening because only the noise.
Claudia, that new phone of yours, you keep putting your finger over the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm not good with new technology. So I said Todd can use his subtitles to read what's happening because otherwise it's hard with low noise.
Who is this that died?
You will find out.
But I'm loving Suki's hairpiece in this.
She looks absolutely beautiful in this episode. Is that Liz singing for real?
I'm sure it is.
Probably is.
John, someone's asking if we're recording.
We are recording because I never turn the recorder off, and I'm not going to turn the recorder off the entire time, even the next episode.
Thank you.
By the way, you can always tell that I'm recording because on Instagram Live, you can see the little red recording button in the upper right. So any of you who are also on Instagram Live and want to double check that I'm recording, you can just always go in there and just see up there. There's a little red.
They're speculating who's number 5. Oh, it's terrible, but funny. Wait, how old is really, really old? 110. Darn. I was wondering if it was Asher Fleming old.
I just love that they kept these two characters, the Reverend and the oh shoot.
Does the rabbi appear?
Rabbi.
Oops.
I also just love that these two are like clearly really good buddies. And I think that there could be some fantastic fan fiction for these two characters.
Oh, this is the episode of the church bells.
Mary, you just figured that out.
Yeah, some of these details I miss sometimes.
Are you writing fan fiction, Sean? Because you talk about so many ideas. It's crazy.
I love fan fiction.
There's some really good out there for Gilmore Girls and some really bad, like in every fan fiction. But no rabbi and story.
Miss Patty.
Miss Patty.
Also, someone had mentioned Suki's hairpiece, and I got a message from Sherry saying that it's actually like a Jewish, like hairpiece that married women wear in like temple.
That was funny. That was a long intro, by the way.
They're jinxing everybody there.
It was the whole town.
They didn't even say Brian would be beheaded. Does Hep Alien ever play this song?
We played it in Texas, in Austin,
But not on the show.
No, not on the show. We never played it on the show.
I have to work it up for every convention that I go to. I always forget it and have to work it back up.
Yeah,
John,
you play
were
it.
you actually playing, or was someone playing on your behalf?
Hey.
Todd, you were asking that to Todd, right?
Both.
Todd, you were always playing.
Yeah, I was playing. Sebastian is not playing.
And I was not playing.
You got a single card?
Single card.
We got single cards.
Yeah.
Sure did. Nice hat there, Brian.
Why are you dressed so warm and all weird? Like
Your shirt is open. You're like,
short sleeves. You're in a sweater and a toque.
I don't know. I think it is winter.
John, your character always looks cold.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this scene is totally dressed for summer except me. It's ridiculous.
He's perpetually cold. He gets from all the women.
What does that mean? I know I can. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I never thought that they were actually making a joke with the costume.
It is winter. Look at the snow.
Look at the paper mache, you mean?
But they're still indoors. Like, it's a still warm, heated garage.
No, I know. I think that's the joke. I mean, I didn't come up with that. What?
John, I have a question for you after the show.
Okay.
Sebastian's great.
Yeah.
Dawn, did you keep that sweater?
Oh, I wish I did. I really wish I did. And the hat.
Did you keep anything from the set?
I have my guitar picks. I have a few guitar picks. I think that they're going to be in the auction that we do later this summer.
Hep Alien T-shirts, which was
I have Hep Alien T-shirt, and I have a Hep Alien baseball cap that was from the Seventh Adventist tour. Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the company that put the fake snow on the ground?
No, but we've had a lot of discussion about this fake snow because it was the most impressive thing. I mean, look at this kid making snow angels.
Yeah, Snow Business was the name of.
That's right, Snow Business.
Yeah.
Is Rory holding a book on martyrdom?
Yeah.
A little too on the nose with the church bells going off?
It's like a Hallmark movie all of a sudden.
And what month would we have shot this in, John?
Oh, this would have probably been shot in like late fall, early winter. But I mean, in Los Angeles, it would have been like, 80 degrees.
Yeah.
All those puddles in the street, those was just like when they called cut, a guy came out and just hosed down the street.
Yeah.
What did that guy ever go on to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mr. Robot. Sorry. I forgot he was in.
Are there any Academy Award winners here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he was in this. I just looked over and oh my gosh.
His very first role. So basically, this show made him the star.
Didn't he have other roles before, but not like some we know?
I mean, he may have had small roles, but I really think this was like one of his first roles.
No.
Gosh, he's so young.
Credits Mara Casey.
Mara found him. Well, Mara and Jamie.
Yep.
Oh, is that Shoots Too Narrow? Is that the Shins album that she was holding? Yeah, that is.
That Britney reference makes me sad because it was everyone.
What's interesting is that Shins album, Shoots Too Narrow, I believe came out that year because in a few episodes we're going to actually be, I think, on an episode where the Shins are on in the episode.
Oh, I thought you were saying her husband Shin's album was placed. No, the Shins. Okay.
The Shins, yeah.
Yeah.
She was holding Shoots Too Narrow. And apparently the Shins, when they were on set, gave a bunch of their Shoots Too Narrow albums out to a bunch of people who were there on set.
Oh, that's lovely. That must be why one of those songs is on the soundtrack.
Yep.
I'm leaving the couch to get a LaCroix.
Enjoy.
Probably a lot.
Here's the logic. Correct me out.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'm watching this on Netflix, and is this the aspect ratio that this was shot in?
No, we actually talked about that. It was it was shot in this. Starting in season 4, they started to actually have to deliver it in HD. Prior to this season, they didn't, but they did shoot it on film, which meant they always had that. They had that resolution that they could then go back to in the future and redo it. So all of the season is in HD, but starting in season 4, they actually were delivering it in HD, so they had HD versions.
I know we switched, the DPs kind of came in and out, but the lighting on this show is very specific and unique, and it seems consistent through all the seasons.
Well, I actually thought that was the case, but I would say that this season the lighting feels a little different than what we just watched. When you watch it all like really compressed, it actually feels like season 3 feels different, like from a lighting perspective, than season 4. Season 4 feels way more like an indie film. Season 3 felt really like a CW, like a network show. Ouch.
Luke sure is hunky.
Word man.
Yeah.
Follow up on that
all I can think
conversation
about
about
is an episode where she was trying to convince him to buy a place and have a place for somebody else, but now she has a problem with it.
Because he left our column.
But it's such a double standard because she never tells him about her boyfriends or getting engaged, but he's expected to tell her everything.
I love that they're using real places like Litchfield and Woodbury, which really exist like in reality.
It's like she's having a panic attack.
She's so possessive here.
Oh, it's the real bells, not Kirk bells.
She is not in his first place. She cannot deal with it.
Okay, this definitely drives me crazy about Lorelai. Like the insistence that she gets all that from him, but she's totally not telling him any of the things that's going on with her right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to talk about it more after.
It totally goes along with what Tanya was saying earlier.
What's the name of the character next to Rory?
We don't know.
Oh, really? She doesn't have a name? Because she's been in a few episodes already, and I think she's an interesting character.
Maybe they told us the first time when she moved in, but I don't remember.
Oh my God, I know Aisha.
Laundry room story. John, they're telling the story about Rory and the guy in the laundry.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing it. This is funny.
That blonde through the series
Say again?
is Melissa. Was she always this blonde on the series, Suki?
No, sometimes her hair's more red.
Yeah, it's usually more red. This is kind of, I think this is a new thing for her for this season.
Experimenting.
She also doesn't look quite as quirky this season. This season, she definitely looks a lot more glamorous.
Yeah, but put a chef's hat on her and get the quirk back.
She's not doing the pigtails. That's what it is.
Yeah, the pigtails. Yeah.
And she's got some more.
Yeah, the colors that she wears are a little bit more muted than they used to be.
I actually think that's hilarious. I'm like, I look worse after I became a mom, not better.
I thought so too. It's very untypical with a newborn baby looking your hair like this.
Yeah, it's not very realistic.
Like that baby.
Yeah, it's a water baby. Yeah, that was definitely not a real baby. Yeah, just the legs there, but looked very realistic. Those water babies are so jiggly.
I really love that red coat. I think this was the best season for Lorelai for like clothing.
Luke comes over to shovel so he can say this to her. It's hilarious.
He's so used to make her think, so he does it anyway, even if they have a conflict.
I mean, this just shows how much control Lorelai has over him. It just tells me how much control Lorelai has over Luke.
Oh, that's a good discussion for after.
Yeah, whether she knows it or not, she has a great deal of power over him. And he feels it.
John, the girl sitting next to Rory, her name is Diane. Sherry looked it up for me.
Diane.
Oh yeah. Do the boxes. I love her. Her name's Aisha Davis.
Her character name is Susan. She drops her pencil, rolls over to that guy, but he doesn't send it back to her.
My God, this is great.
This is incredibly current. And it's sort of crazy.
Here you can see how similar Lorelai and Rory sometimes are. I think that's interesting. Yes, Claudia.
Ooh, snow, like snow falling. I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, they're talking about Israel.
I know, that's what I was saying. It's like they're talking about Israel and Palestine, and I was like, oh my gosh.
This scene with Lorelai is shot inside of a sound stage. This particular house set is inside a sound stage. So that snow outside there is snow falling from some machine that's out there. The trees behind it are just, they're just prop trees.
I do love all the snow.
This is like heavy snowfall.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I just love that.
There
like,
was a
the
big
term-
snow budget this episode.
Oh yeah, for sure. Snow business. What is it called? Snow business?
No business.
Yeah, snow business got paid well in this episode.
I just love that the charming town thing becomes the thing everyone hates.
The hat. The hat.
I love that she took the opportunity to snag a donut.
The hat is a little much.
Doesn't look like he's moved out.
I would have stole the donut too. I mean, come on.
Interesting.
Wait, is she just discovering that he lives there?
All right. So by the way, this shot, this whole little scene was shot twice. This is the second time we did it on 2 different days. The first one that they did didn't work, so we had to all come back and do this again.
Yeah, Todd, it looked like he was eating and he had a bunch of dishes.
He had told her he moved, so she's just noticing that he doesn't look like he moved.
Gotta love Brian and his inhaler, man.
Is that a real inhaler, John?
No. It just like had water in it, I think.
I love how supportive Brian's parents are.
That was Sebastian stand-in, that guy that came in.
I agree, Emma. That's so rock and roll.
This is like some foreshadowing for like the complications that the band will be having, as we grow. The growing pains of Hebalion.
I love when Todd when Zack says, "I can't believe your parents took drinks." That's great.
Yeah.
My subtext was that Brian has fetal alcohol syndrome.
That explains the inhaler.
That explains a lot.
I love when Luke and Lila scenes together.
Can I just point out that Luke wears that same coat year round, and that clearly would not keep him warm in the winter?
No, definitely not.
Can I also point out, Sherry just brought this to my attention, and she's right. I never knew this. I never realized this. That's not Bert. That's not Bert, Luke's toolbox. That's another toolbox.
Bert the second?
I like that.
The other toolbox is probably at his new home because they need it there.
Bert Jr.
Bert Jr. is so cute, actually. I like that. Well, that answers it.
Oh, Lorelai.
Is professional picture hanger actually a thing?
Yeah, they actually do cable too.
Is it like part of the moving thing you can book?
There's little companies like that.
Why is she doing this?
Because she's jealous. And she wants to know that Luke's still there for her. I think she just gets crazy over Luke. Yeah, she's stepping over the line now.
No, it's not Lorelai's business.
Oops. That was a good joke.
Best line.
See, she can't admit why she doesn't want him to move. She can't say it.
Yeah, I know, but that kind of pisses her off that she has to. Yeah, pisses it. Yeah, it's like it's similar to the Digger Styles thing where she doesn't want to tell her parents or let anybody know that they're dating, but she still wants it.
She's kind of bratty.
I mean, Lane is an adult, so.
Yeah, but
There's
it's not
a,
really about being an adult. It's more about like just the relationship to her family. It's so wild seeing this because I just didn't know that this existed. Or that, I mean, I probably heard it in the table read, but I don't remember any of this.
Paris is missing.
Ooh. But I respect it.
Do we know Mrs. Kim's first name?
Mrs.
No, we don't know.
Yeah, no, we never find out. I don't think. And I respect it too, John. I agree. I would. Well,
I love the candlelight vigil.
Wait, is this supposed to be because Lane's missing?
Yep.
But what's so ridiculous about it is that we've already identified so many times in the series where we're like, how does Mrs. Kim not know about this?
I think they're praying for her to be safe, so it's actually kind of sad.
right. She's having a prayer circle, and she has the authorities there to do the search. The fire department.
I think Mrs. Kim thought something really bad happened, and perhaps she's dead, so she was really afraid.
But I do find it odd that she didn't think to call Lorelai.
Oh, poor Mrs. Kim here.
This
This is
is
heartbreaking.
sad for Mrs. Kim. Man,
This is
let's
heartbreaking.
just give it up to the Lalas here. This is a set of Lalas, especially for Mrs. Kim.
One of my faves.
Bad for Mrs. Kim in this scene. Timestamp, please.
36:25. Or let me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Lane's lack of communication is really hard on her relationship with her mom.
Yeah, lots of people who don't know how to communicate in this series.
Mothers and daughters specific.
I think it's hard to.
Also, Luke, he doesn't know how to either.
I think it's hard to live in such an environment with such a religious mother to tell her she doesn't like stuff her mother likes. So yeah, and she doesn't want to hurt her mother. I think a lot of things Lane does is to protect her mother.
Right, but she's making assumptions as to why her mother didn't show up. But it's really because she realized that Lane called other people, not her, and she's sad and went home.
Yeah, totally. I saw that coming.
I forgot he wasn't talking about her.
Holy shit.
too late. Everybody in the entire room heard you.
She pulled a Paris. Remember when Paris did that at Chilton?
Yeah. And I also wonder if maybe he also said no to the date with Rory because he was kind of a little scarred by the other one.
That could be.
Oh man, Mrs. Kim getting some guitar strings, just some solo guitar strings.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about
Oh, she finds all of the, wow.
This is my top 3 favorite scenes ever.
This is super, gosh, I wish that Keiko was with us here today. Whoa. Oh gosh.
That's a lot.
Man, Emily Kuroda is crushing this scene. I kind of saw that coming just because I know that it comes because of our storyline, but I didn't see that coming.
It is a good scene.
Man, not snowing at Yale, but snowing heavily in Stars Hollow.
It's half an hour away, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Is Lorelai in a soundstage again there, John?
No, I don't think so. I think that probably was snow outside of the window in the town. Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna actually open up the couch, and then I have to go pee again. I'm really just.
How many cups of coffee has it been?
I really didn't drink that much, but for whatever reason, it's just like maybe it's all. You know what it is? Maybe it's all of the Bloody Mary or the bloody the Imperial Micheladas from last night. I'm gonna actually make Mary. I'm gonna make you moderator. And if you could start bringing folks up onto the couch for me, that would be great. I'm gonna just be right back. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
I would just like to say one of the biggest reasons why I love season 4 is because of that scene between Lane and Mrs. Kim. Watching it again as like a grown adult, it it hits a lot harder. I don't know if like if you get older, you feel your emotions more, but I definitely felt emotional watching that scene way more so than I did as a kid. It's so good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think becoming a mom, it completely changed how I start to see that scene. Like it just, my heart breaks for Mrs. Kim there. I think the older you get, the more you understand how an adult will feel. So if you're younger, you are more seeing Lane's view, and if you get older, it doesn't
What
matter.
is going on here? Oh, wow, 20 people. All right, so I'm making people.
Blue.
Oh shoot! Oh no.
Mary, were you shirking on your moderator duty?
I think that Mary may have stepped away. That's all right. I got everybody here. I was wondering. I could hear from the bathroom. I could hear bling. I was like, Mary.
Yes,
Hey,
you definitely
Todd.
stepped away because I messaged
Howdy.
her on Twitter.
I just wanted to say that I loved you as Zack, and if I could just pay homage to one more big role you had, I love you as Terry, okay?
Oh, thank you very much.
You were amazing.
All right, let's talk about the episode. So where should we start?
Mrs. Kim.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say that her first name is probably, Korean, and you know how they have last names and first names like all backwards. So probably that's why we don't know her name.
Yeah, I was also thinking if Mrs. Kim's name was Korean, the choice to give her an American first name, Lane, like her and Mr. Kim must have debated on that or arrived at that.
That's true.
My daughter lives on the other side of the world from me right now in Japan, and she's worked for Disney and such, and has many Korean friends, and as well as other nationalities. And they do tend to take English sounding names. So one of her best friends is Tim Kim. And so they do tend to adopt a lot of English sounding names. Harry, she has a friend named Harry who's Korean. So that is very common.
I know from a lot of Asians who just choose English speaking names they like. My brother, who is German and married a Chinese girl,
Donna,
thought
can you
about
please
Donna. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
If you aren't speaking, just tap the little microphone in the lower right hand corner of your iPhone, and then re-tap it right before you're about to start speaking. That will.
I apologize. I didn't realize. I guess when I raised my hand, it automatically didn't. It was unmuted. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, when you come in, it's always unmuted. Or when you come to the couch, you always have to mute yourself.
I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. We're good. Claudia, continue.
Yeah, I don't know how much you kept. I said Asian people who go into international countries often my Chinese sister-in-law did it too. And as I studied in Australia, all Asians had English names they just liked, not only similar to their own name, it's just the names they like often.
Right.
My husband's aunt is Korean, and her name's Kunyan, but she doesn't go by that. She goes by her last name Lee, her Korean last name, so she's just Aunt Lee. And I had to ask my husband. I can never remember her first name because they never say it. So
so then should we assume that Mrs. Kim just never gave herself an American name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that Link
That'd be
has
badass.
a Korean name, because when she was sent to Korea, she told Rory that her Korean name, that if something happens to her, this is how you find me.
Either that, or it's
Got it.
writer's way of like showing respect. You know,
That's what I was about to say. I think it's a respect thing with her. She's with the tradition.
Yeah. Dude, do you remember anything from like does that CBGB's thing joggle any memories for you?
Did we have to reshoot that?
Yeah, we had to reshoot it. We had to shoot that twice because, well, what they said, what I remember hearing on set was that there was something on the wall that didn't clear clearances. That like there was something written, like I want to say it was Stairway to Heaven, like that, like somewhere that there was like either a Led Zeppelin sticker or it was like the lyrics or something like that were on the wall, and so they had to reshoot it. However, when we reshot it, the director who reshot it was not the original director. It was Amy. Amy reshot it, and she did a completely different blocking than what we had the first time with the original director, which always made me wonder if actually
she was unhappy with the scene and then used the art department thing as just a guy. So no one felt,
And the reason why I say it is because then I went on to produce something for Warner Brothers, my project H+, and I remember the whole clearance process, and I remember how it went down. And there are ways to get around it, and the main way to get around it is you can just blur it out, or you can add some like effects to do it. So in my mind, I'm thinking the amount of money that it costs to bring everybody back to do that again, all of the actors, all of the set had to be rebuilt, all of that stuff. There's no way that cost less
than just blurring it,
than just getting some visual effect to blur out that thing. And the fact that the blocking was very different tells me that she just didn't like the way that it came out originally. That's just my gut. That tells me I can't confirm it, but I will say that what we saw in this episode was way more dynamic. Than what I remember the first one being. I feel like the first one was all kind of static. We were all standing there, and this one, she had me walking across.
Yeah, and the movements and the
Very
that only lends itself to the legend of ASP and her micromanaging. Sounds bad, but the way she was managed.
She just was very picky about the shots. And we used to shoot sometimes 14 takes of this. Stacy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I actually just had a question for Todd about all of his picking on Gil. Do you think that was because Todd or Zack's character was intimidated by him, or was it that he really kind of missed Dave and he didn't want to replace him, or what do you think that was about?
As I'm watching it, man, I'm crabby. Zack's crabby. I think that. Yeah, I think he was intimidated by Gil. He's a real rocker, and Zack never really was going to become one.
But did you think that? Do you think that Zack didn't think he was going to become one at that point?
No, he did. He did, but I don't think he quite had the talent.
Right.
It's a garage band, it would have happened by now.
Dude, speaking of Dave. That the second part of Stacey's question was about Dave and whether any of it was influenced by Dave and wanting Dave in the band. What was your personal feelings about having Dave in the band?
Well, don't I go on a big rant where we had this sound and he took it to California, which was a sly joke to the OC, which is the show that Adam got hired on.
Yeah, but I always joke that Adam leaving the show, Adam leaving the show was basically made the band, because before Adam left the show, it was really the story of Adam and Lane, or Dave and Lane getting together. And then once Adam left, then it just became the story of the band trying to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which was good for us.
It was written in Ellen Pye and Dave Rogowski's, their own romance. and she was, you know, best friends with Amy. So obviously it was going to go that way.
Sherry, you wanted to say something, and then Shauna, I see flashing down there as well.
I have a question. With the bells, they're going off every hour. I know in New York where I am, I have a church right behind my house, and literally it only goes off at 6 p.m. Does anybody else have bells that go off all day long every hour?
There are towns.
Yeah, we in Mobile, Alabama, we have churches downtown, and one particular, the bells go off on the hour every hour.
Ours literally go off every 15 minutes.
What?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
I did, Stacy. Yeah, if they go off, they ring for longer on the hour, and then they ring usually just like once or twice every 15 minutes. That's how they do in England too. They have one that goes off every 15 minutes. But
We're the same here.
ones in every home are shorter.
That's crazy. It seems so disruptive.
In the past, churches were used. In the past, churches were used for clocks for farmers and everything, so they didn't have watches on their arms. So it was really often going off every 50 minutes, and it was normal.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I actually thought that it was a religious thing to, like, you know, get everyone sort of on the same page, time to pray, time to focus, time to keep, you know, everyone together. But I hadn't thought about it being a functional need for farmers and for people of the town. Merchants probably also needed to know what time it was in order to get deliveries, etc. But yeah, that is also keeping everybody focused.
Yeah, our town had we had a bell that would go off at 9 o'clock every night, and it was called the curfew bell. And so our town had a curfew, and if you were not in, like, the police would be like, why are you still on the streets? So yeah, we had a curfew bell.
In my case, when we had a curfew because of lockdown, it was our phones. Like that. They put the message on their phone. Okay, you know, we are under curfew. We are under lockdown. You should be home and all that stuff. It was at 6:30 or 7:30. It was earlier when the pandemic started, when the lockdown started.
Oh, okay.
In my town, the bells chime every hour. The top of the hour, you hear the bells.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's plenty of towns.
Hi there, whoever said that.
It definitely explains why. It definitely explains why the Reverend was glad to see Luke and Lorelai there to bring them.
I love that moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank God. Carry on.
Had he not popped up at that moment, do you think that Lorelai would have confided and told Luke why she didn't want him to move?
No.
Yes.
No. That's the $1 million question.
I don't think she would have. I really think she just cannot stand being pushed in that regard. Like, she just can't stand the idea that she doesn't have control over like the relationship that she would have with somebody else, or feelings with that other person, which I guess is fine to a degree, except that if there's another person in the mix, it feels like they're always kind of getting the shorter straw.
But she's also dating somebody, so it's not like she's wants him for herself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, first of all, she's certainly not giving Luke nearly the courtesy of you know, sharing everything that she expects to get from him. And she's dating somebody, so why in the world should any of this matter to her? And if the answer is because she likes Luke, then why isn't she saying it?
Because she's an idiot.
I think she likes to have him, like, on the back burner. Like, I think she likes the idea of him being there if she needs him or when she wants him.
I think she's afraid of ruining their friendship, so she can't admit how much she might actually like him, and so she's just kind of stuck in that
weird, awkward in between place where she wants to see him happy, but she can't accept him being happy, but she can't accept telling him how she really feels. So
okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. That actually does track and does make the Lorelai thing seem a little bit less selfish. I mean, although I think, you know, not wanting to ruin the friendship also comes from
it's still selfish though.
It is selfish, but it doesn't feel quite so like selfish in a way that I find a little entitled. Diana, you wanted to say something, and then we'll go to Emma after that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna build on that and just say, you know, up until this point, she hasn't had to confront these feelings, and neither has he. Like, they can just sort of live in this town together and have their routines and everything works. But once Nicole comes into the picture and he gets married, you know, things are like now pushed to a point where she has to confront it because everything's changing. That's why she's upset about him moving. She doesn't want that change to push this decision on her. You know, she's not prepared for it. She doesn't know what to do about it. And, you know, I think like she's still kind of figuring out what she thinks of this relationship between the two of them. And it does change. If he's married and he moves away, you know, regardless of whether or not she's with someone, it changes their relationship regardless. And that's hard.
Yeah.
I thought the look on Lorelai's face when Luke was pressing her, I thought that was powerful. She looked to me like she could almost cry, like she just did not know how to proceed, but that it was really building up in her. And I thought the look on her face, we talked about Mrs. Kim's face earlier. I thought the look on Lorelai's face right before the Reverend comes in was, I mean, like a storm cloud of emotions on her face.
Yeah, my interpretation.
John, we broke the app.
Really?
All the events gone.
What?
Yeah, everything's been
Yeah, it says my dates say that we started January 1st, 1970.
Yeah, everything is going to past events.
Funny.
So we can't get into Harvest Kernel.
Mine all still looks perfectly normal, and I just harvested mine, so that's weird.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I see it
mine
now. I
doesn't
see it now. Let me see what's happening. Everyone keep
I'm sorry,
chatting,
interrupted.
and I'll be right back. Just keep chatting. Chris, maybe you could moderate a little bit.
Hey, Todd, are you on social media besides Twitter?
I have an Instagram account that I never use, but Twitter I'm occasionally on.
Hey, Todd, when you guys were prepping for the episodes for your band stuff, like tonight where you're practicing in the garage, did you have a certain amount of time where you got to rehearse the song that they wanted you to play while you were doing your band practice?
Yeah, the way
you were playing for real.
Yeah, the way it worked, because Helen Pye, I think we all know that's an anagram for Hep Alien, was kind of the music coordinator. So we would rehearse what we're going to rehearse shooting. You know, we'd spend time with the songs. And then Helen's actual husband, Dave Rogowski, would be playing the bass behind a curtain, and John would fake it. And then there was another guy who would come in and do Sebastian's guitar parts. So
did Sebastian and John have to like practice their fingers movements? Did you guys help them with that? Cool.
Yeah. And I don't want to speak for John. I think he picked up the bass a little bit, but I don't think he quite got proficient enough to do it himself. But he had the finger stuff down.
Yeah, and he still thinks there's 6 tuners on that bass, right?
Yeah.
Nikki, you had something you wanted to say? I see you flashing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Todd, did you ever get any input into which songs you played, or was that very much dictated by ASP?
Yeah, that was dictated by ASP. More so Dan. Dan is a big music fan. Yeah.
Right.
I want to know what their problem was with Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like that's a
Simon.
50 band, like NSYNC. No, Fleetwood Mac rocks. Yeah.
But it was the time. I'm a huge, like, Fleetwood Mac is my favorite band of all time. And the time when this episode would have aired, Fleetwood Mac was very uncool. Like at the time, they really hadn't had their sort of renaissance.
Yeah,
Again,
the Rumors reissue.
yeah, they weren't cool, I guess, at the time, and it really wasn't cool to like Fleetwood Mac. But now, especially, like, there's been a lot of things over like the last 10 years, especially, that kind of brought them more to like the forefront. There was an episode of Glee that focused on the Rumors album that really like made them chart again. There's been like a lot of things like with Stevie Nicks specifically, like
There's the
Harry
cranberry
Styles.
juice, the cranberry juice guy on the skateboard or whatever.
And that too, yeah. Now it's just it's cool again. It's cool again to be like a fan, but at the time when this episode aired, they were not cool.
Todd, are you a big NSYNC fan?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to think, what was their biggest song?
I don't know.
I have no clue. I don't know them either.
I didn't know the room was still open. They're great.
No, just to say, like, with Fleetwood Mac, I would like to second what Elle said, because I did not know who Fleetwood Mac was at all until Vanessa Carlton started talking about Stevie Nicks. And then on American Horror Story, they were like, Stevie Nicks, the White Witch. And I was like, huh? Oh, yeah, isn't that one woman that Vanessa Carlton's friends with? And then I started checking out Fleetwood Mac after American Horror Story. They're really good.
Stevie officiated Vanessa Carlton's wedding.
Okay, guys, we got Mandy and Tasha flashing, so we should move along with that.
Yeah, I actually have a question. I know that, Todd, you said that you were playing live, and I know that Keiko really played the drums. Was she also playing live?
Yeah, but for a lot of things, because drums are so noisy, that we would play to a pre-recorded drum track. But then on some of them, she is actually banging it out in the garage or on stage. I guess it depended on the situation. We would shoot a master shot of the performance, and then when they come in for tight close-ups, I think a lot of that was the playback. And they have to like mute the drums and put rubber on the cymbals, just people walking around makes them rattle.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because like just watching, not just like Gilmore Girls. Hi, Todd, by the way.
Hi.
Just like watching like movies or TV shows or like music videos for that matter. It's like how like with playback, how do you not like play the drums when, I don't know. So that's actually pretty good insight. I actually never knew that. I was like, I just thought you just play.
Yeah, they severely muffle the drums to where
kind of like they do with shoes.
Yeah.
On like the floor. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Curry. Hi. Hi, Todd. It is I, your former co-star.
Is this Curry Rose?
It is.
Hey.
I've been a part of this group, and I have not revealed our connection until right now. So, so it's nice to talk to you after so long. And,
you want to elaborate on co-star?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I wonder if Todd remembers this.
We were a husband and wife. And like I checked you for ticks or something like that.
Oh my God.
That's awkward.
Okay. Why were we wearing bathrobes? I can't remember.
Well, we were supposed to be playing septuagenarians, and we were in our early 20s.
Old. We were very old, and we were and Todd was a retired veteran, so he had. I'll post this picture of the two of us. But so this group doesn't know any of this stuff. But so surprise, my big reveal. Anyway, and as a matter of fact, I didn't even think I could come to this, but this is my like 10 minutes of free time while I'm trying to get Travis and Amy's sons off to camp tomorrow. Todd was an undergraduate at University of Texas at Austin with my now sister-in-law, and I was a graduate student for 1 year, one blissful year of acting grad school, and we were in a wacky play, one-act play called Jalapeno Mon Amour Gambit Decline. And we were old married couple, and Todd kept asking, "Where are my flip-flops?" over and over. That was his big entrance.
Yes, and that was written by
Eric Wiley, yes.
Eric Wiley, that's right.
Right.
I want to say anything more.
And directed by
Wally.
Wally Fiesta. Yeah.
Is that right?
I think it was Wally, yeah.
We got lucky there.
Yeah.
There were a lot of
well, anyway, we had to do a lot of student work, and of mixed quality, but that Eric was one of the best playwrights. He's he's a professor at University of Texas Pan American. He's way down south.
Okay.
But anyway, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi, Curry. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, and obviously gigantic fan, but I just have a tiny little story that I started watching it the last show of season 4, and I don't think you guys were in that, and so it took me a while to see that you were in this show that I love, and I was like, I looked at the credits and I was like, Todd Lowe, I know a Todd Lowe. Then I was like, oh, duh, that's because Travis hadn't told me that you were in this, and so anyway, but big fan, thrilled that John is doing this whole Remarcus, and I don't know if I earned kernels by coming up on the couch, but anyway, and Travis and Amy say hello as well.
Are you in Texas right now?
No, Trav and Amy are. I'm outside of DC in College Park, Maryland.
Okay.
So if you're ever in the area, you have to look me up.
I'll holler at you.
But yes, please do. And anyway, here comes my next errand. We're sending all the boys off to camp tomorrow. So
Good Lord.
I'm just that's my thanks for letting me up on the couch, and great to talk to you, Todd. And I will I'll be thinking of you from now on, in your little veterans cap, and I'll be posting that photo.
Right on, please do, and I'll retweet it.
Thanks for sharing. Curry, you should post your little story about your connection to Todd and some pictures on our Facebook group.
Yes. Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. I only have the one. We were in our dressing room, so we're in a it looks like we're in a bathroom. So that's a whole other thing. Anyway.
Yeah, just for people who weren't here today, I'm sure everybody would love to hear that story because it's great.
Okay. Well, that's sweet, and I'm just really glad to be able to contribute a little bit to this group. And Todd, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you come back. And I'm glad you're still friends with John, and that it's really sweet that you came. So thanks.
Great, it's great to have you. Thanks for sharing, Curry.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, tell
Tell
Travis and Amy I said hello back.
I will.
I'm back.
Take care.
Hey,
Welcome
John.
back, John.
Wait.
Bye, guys.
You missed quite a bit,
John.
John.
Oh,
You
what
did.
was wrong with it?
Okay, so really quickly, I fixed it. I fixed the app. I figured out what it was. Sorry about that.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was me.
No, it wasn't. But the fix that I did means that the Google Calendar link doesn't work right now. So I figured out what it was. So I'll have to fix that Google Calendar link. Not that that's a huge deal right now. I don't know how many of you are using that, but that will currently not work. If any of you are adding Google Calendar, that Google Calendar thing to your calendar, that will take.
I do have a question about episode 12, because I honestly didn't think I was going to make it for this, but my hair got done a lot quicker than I thought.
We haven't watched it yet.
Well, yeah, I assume that. But are we dropping people and then bringing people back up?
Yes, we are. So where are we?
Sean, how do we harvest the kernels?
Yeah,
I wasn't able.
As long as you, well, first of all, I'd close out the app and then open it back up again, and you will not, you should not see the what you saw before with
okay, perfect.
Everything should be back.
And it worked perfectly.
Yeah, everything works. Everything works except for that calendar link. The calendar link does not work right now. So if you need to use the little Google Calendar link that I have in each of the events to remind yourself, don't use it right now until I fix that. But everything else should work. The kernels, all that good stuff.
So how does the kernels work?
The calendar's well, sorry.
What's up?
The calendar, when I just looked at it, the calendar's now it's got all the dates all the way through September. Did you just add those? And then it's reverse ordered, or sort of like when you look at your past events, it's now showing those as all past events. And I have never seen, because I was just looking
I have that too.
previously.
I think you guys gotta close out.
Yeah, you gotta close you guys have to close your app out completely. Actually swipe up, close it out, and reopen it so that it refreshes. What I just did needs to your app needs to bring it all
I did, but I'll do it again.
Yeah,
Yes,
no problem.
we're all into the game aspect of our remarkers group here.
Well, that's
We got
fine.
so carried away.
What did I miss in terms of conversation? Anything? Did
we were just
Todd
talking
Todd
about-
have anything insightful for us?
We talked about Lane playing drums and how sometimes she would play live and sometimes, excuse me, they would like what was it, the word, like
Muffles.
thank you and stuff like that.
Oh,
and then
really?
Curry,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because the cymbals, like you have to, because even people walking around make some rattle,
Oh, right. That's true. That is true.
and they have rubber stoppers. They kind of clamp on them and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because for me, they could just unplug my guitar and like I'd be playing, but you just couldn't hear me because, you know, obviously it would be terrible. It would be a terrible sound. But with Keiko, I couldn't imagine how they would do that, but I guess that makes sense. But they mostly do. I mean, mostly we're playing live, weren't we? Like most of that stuff was live.
Yeah, we did it live, and then when they come in for the close-ups, we would sometimes.
Oh, right. That's right. For close-ups. Right. Yes.
And we
that's
play
true.
back to what we recorded just a couple hours earlier.
Right.
and then Curry exposed herself to the group, saying that she was a co-star with Todd.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had a college classmate who is in the group right now, and she raised her hand, and we
cool.
reminisced. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's also 1 o'clock.
Do you remember? Yeah, I know. We're gonna probably start just in a few minutes, just because I wanna ask a few more questions. Do you remember? Like we watched the episode already, but do you remember learning that White Stripes song for the big keg party?
Fell in love with a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you remember how tough that was?
Vaguely, I remember struggling with like I wanted to sing things my way. It was like, no, you need to sing it like Zack would.
Yeah, that was the whole thing that you were like, they really wanted it to sound like
White Stripes.
Yeah, White, yeah. What's his name?
Jack White.
Jack White, right? I was like Jack Black. No. Yeah, they really wanted it to sound exactly like that, you know. And you were
there's a reason I'm Todd Lowe and he's Jack White.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like,
he's way better than me. Yeah,
right. But that's just one of the funny memories that I had from it.
John, he also speculated on whether or not you really picked up any of the bass or not. So
Yep.
he wasn't sure. So what do you have to say about that?
I picked up a little bit. I mean, you know, I always learned the fingering for any song that we did. I always learned it. I always spent like, you know, I usually had about a week, you know, heads up on it and learned it. I just couldn't really press them hard enough. My fingers weren't calloused, so I couldn't really press them hard enough. You know, I couldn't, you know, I often would like, you know,
oh my God,
like,
this is so Brian.
yeah, it's so true. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, you think that Brian had calluses?
No.
No.
Maybe
yeah.
pressing his inhaler so much.
Yeah, and it wasn't
Maybe.
even just like it wasn't even just the fingering. You also had to get the fingering and the strumming right. And strumming on a bass is different from strumming on a just a normal 6-string guitar, because it's like I have to like actually hit those strings correctly. So sometimes I just wouldn't even hit the right string, you know. And you know, and then I was like going between, do I use a pick or do I use my thumb? So sometimes I would use my thumb and then it would kind of hurt, and then I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to a pick, but then I couldn't really like I couldn't really hit the right strings with the pick. And so, you know, ultimately they were just like, just do your thing, we're gonna put the music over you, don't worry.
So at the same time, you're trying to breathe.
And at the same time, I'm trying to breathe and I'm trying to like focus on the scene, you know. I mean, it was a lot.
I'll just never forget Sebastian's first rehearsal when he didn't even know how to practically hold a guitar.
Oh, I know.
Rock star.
Because everybody, I actually read this review the other night where it was the review of the episode where he arrived, and we're like totally like, you know, just freaked out about how old he is. And somebody wrote a review online that was like, ageism is alive and well in Lily White Stars Hollow, and then it just goes into just like eviscerating just the fact that we would.
I was afraid he was going to break a hip and all that.
Right,
stuff.
yeah, all of that kind of stuff. But in the review, they were like, real life guitarist Sebastian Bach could play them under the table, and I was like,
oh, that's sweet. I like it.
I mean, I thought that it was. I actually thought it was kind of obvious because, like, they had in like the last episode, you didn't see it, but the last episode, so they have him like holding his guitar and then with one finger playing that like.
Oh yeah, does that little tapping thing?
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
It's
like
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm just really
that's
amazed.
so delicious that whoever pinned that attack on it doesn't even have their facts right. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just really amazed that y'all were able to do that fingering and also ageism. Like that's a hard thing to do. Fingering and ageism at the same time.
Yeah, we trying
exactly.
to reading, ageism, fingering, strumming, all of that. Yeah, it was
There's so many innuendos.
That's why they pay. That's why they pay us the big bucks.
That's why they pay a scale.
which is acting scale.
I just want to say thank you, Todd, for coming on and everything. I have to go because I have to go to work soon. But it was a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure too. After this, I have to go to band practice of all things.
Well, we're gonna actually switch. We're gonna start moving into the next episode. But dude, I hope that you had a good enough time that you'll come back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Dude, what do you think of the idea of coming back for the episode that Keiko's going to be doing at the end of the season?
Excellent. Count me in.
Awesome. That's going to be big, guys. That's going to be a close that we've got. Now all we need to do is buy a few cameos from Sebastian Bach, and maybe we could convince him
I'll
to
join. I'll help. I'll do it.
Oh my God.
Do you have to pull with him, Todd?
I'm not that close to Sebastian, but money talks. Money talks with that guy. So if we bought like maybe 2 or 3 cameos from him, we might get. I'm actually completely joking, but it is funny. It is funny.
I was talking to my mother. She would probably have a cow because I will say this because she's not here. My mother literally had such a huge crush on Sebastian Bach growing up because, I mean, she grew up with like his music and stuff like that. And yeah, so like she would, whenever I would watch Gilmore Girls and like Gil was in it, she would watch it. I'm like, Mom, you're embarrassing me.
Hey, John.
But I can't complain because she is.
Yeah.
So.
Zachary.
Thanks for, I want to say really quick and on personally, but also on behalf of the group, thanks for like fixing the app in real time, playing host, moderator, trying to make sure people get enough time. You're wearing many hats and it's very appreciated.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Tough work.
Thank you so much, John.
I apologize for walking away, but my son was screaming his head off, and I didn't want the recording to catch it. So
no worries.
Thank you, Mary.
Like curling scream in the middle of a discussion.
Hey, Todd, do you think
Yo.
that Zack grew up in Stars Hollow?
Oh yeah, we were discussing that. Where does Zack and Brian live? In Stars Hollow before they moved there, or were they from
Woodbury, Litchfield?
I think something neighboring.
You guys might know more of that than I do. I think they finally gave me a last name. Although I don't know if it's ever said, but the name is Van Gerbig, Zack Van Gerbig.
Yeah,
At the end,
it said
it
it the way. It said
At
it
the
the
end
way.
of the show,
We're
we
gonna
learn
hear more about him.
And Brian and Brian Fuller, is my name ever said?
Yeah, at some point. I can't remember which season though.
All right.
There was a rumor after Sideways came out and Thomas Hayden Church got all that heat. There was a rumor that Amy was trying to get him to play Zack's father.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. That is true. I heard that as well. I'm pretty sure that's actually that is actually real. That they wanted him to play Zack's father, which is cool because if that had happened, you'd probably had a much bigger role than
there'd be a lot more Zack. You got to use Thomas Hayden Church.
Well, I guess not cool because it didn't happen. So unfortunately. All right. Well, All right, dude. Well, thank you, dude, for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank
Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, we look forward to talking to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, man.
Good luck with practice.
And it's gonna be easy. Have fun at
Adios.
band practice.
Later, dude.
Bye bye. Have fun storming the castle.